Game Awards, alive and well, unlike E3, which was officially declared this week that it no longer is a thing.
It's not like
So,
an autopsy report the way you said it.
oh,
It was officially
we can
declared dead on the
we can
scene.
do a post mortem on E3 and see what happened here. But yeah, the ESA decided that that is it. They're not moving forward with the plans that the restructure plans that they had for next year. That after canceling the event this year, and I, it's sad, and I'm sad because I never got to go to it, and I always
That was a
wanted to.
dream.
And that was a bucket list item that I will no longer be able to tick, right? So I guess I gotta add the Game Awards now to my
Seriously, dude. Yeah. You gotta
honestly,
switch.
like I gotta switch, right? And it's unfortunate, right? Because the Game Award it's not this, it's not the same thing to sit down
Not the
and
same.
watch an award show than it is to watch the presentations and go around and touch stuff and play
Demo
stuff
and
and
yep.
meet people. And right, it's not the same. It's kind of like the same experience that you have when you go to Comic Con, right?
Yep.
So uh, yeah, it's unfortunate because I always wanted to go ever since the old Sega Saturn days, and ever since this was like a mini CES that was not open to the public, and then it got bigger as it went along, and it made its untimely demise in the last few years. But yeah, I'm bummed out. I'm bummed out. I mean, a lot of people are rejoicing over it. I'm not. Um,
No,
you
not at
know,
all.
because it was fun. It was always fun. It was always a fun time. When we covered it on the show, it gave us good content. But if you want to go back and listen to the old E3 shows, I guess. But it was always fun. We did the E3 live stream for the Sony show, and
Yep.
that one really good. So yeah, it's I always wanted to go, and I'm sad that I'm not gonna be able to ever go to it. So um, what's going on with the ESA? I really don't know. Right? Seems like the ESA doesn't have its ducks in a row, and um, I think that the ESA was a product of its time, and it was kind of like the MPAA tried to wrangle everyone in, and then when
Mm,
you got game companies that got bigger than the ESA,
yeah.
they're not gonna hang around. It's like when you got Sony over here, outselling everything, and you got Nintendo with, their biggest hit since the freaking DS. They're not gonna.
No.
They don't need to hang around with you, right? And it's unfortunate, right? Because at the same thing at the same time, it's a partnership. Interestingly enough, some of the Europe shows are still going on, right? The
Yeah.
Gamescom and Paris Game Week and all this stuff, right? Tokyo Game Show is still happening. It's like all this other shows happen,
Yeah.
but then E3 is not. So what's going? Joe, let's make our own E3. Come on, let's do it.
Give us the money, give us the venue. We got this.
Put it together. Is
100%.
by fans for the fans.
Seriously.
Yeah.
For the people.
Yeah, for you. Oh, no, I don't think that's the. I don't think we can
Total
use that.
bid.
I don't think we can use that slogan, sir.
That's very, very copyrighted.
Right, very much so, sir. It has the biggest army of lawyers in the United States. So
We'll bring them in as a sponsor. We'll bring them
there,
in as
there you
a
go. Yeah,
sponsor.
sure, sure. I'm
You're
sure.
welcome. You're
I'm
welcome to
sure that
come in.
lawyers and also enjoy video games. They
Oh,
can be.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they can also be part of the group. So, um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, man. I mean, what do you think about all this,
Yeah.
untimely demise. I mean, I don't want to say I want to say untimely because I'm still bummed about it, but the writing was on the wall for at least 4 years maybe. So, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, it's kind of like the evolution of just the industry as a whole and how um the whole presentation format has just changed and changed and changed so quickly. It feels like in my lifetime, like we said, that was always the dream was, and we talked about it nauseam when we launched the podcast, like how cool would it be we get big enough to one day actually be there. And
right.
now, like you said, I think we you gotta switch the plan to the Game Awards. Like let's go to the Game Awards one year. Let's do it like, fully and enjoy that. So Jeff Keighley, if you're listening to this, like we're there. Shoot us the invite. We're there. We'll have fun and
Did you?
talk about it. But
Did you? I don't want to interrupt, but
yeah.
did you see the hard drive article? It's like Sony and Nintendo to skip E3's funeral and do their own presentations.
Oh my gosh. No, stop, stop. Oh my, that's so wrong.
Right.
So wrong. But
Yeah.
seriously, like E3 over time, like you said, it was way more of like a Comic Con. I never went to it, obviously, but like I know that it was more of like a Comic Con style of you had your presentations mixed in with like the hands-on, walkthrough, demoing, experience. The difference though was that it was extremely industry. You could not just go and buy a ticket to go to E3. It was industry only. It wasn't a fan type thing where like Comic Con is, right? It's limited, but still open to the public. So I think that's another thing that kind of affected it to some extent too, that the way the style of it was. Because when you have something like that, I could see why over time, Nintendo would say, "Hey, we're gonna have our directs," and then PlayStation started their state of plays, and then the Xbox showcase. Like, it makes sense why they each would start doing it. And
Just
the
the
moment they started doing
right.
that, there was no other need for E3 aside from the you want to just come and hang out and look at games, which other conventions do that already. It was like a perfect marriage of having a presentation mixed with the demo and the whole experience for the industry. And once you took one away, it just couldn't survive from it. Supposedly 28 years, something like that, I think is what that's what said that was running for something along
Yeah,
those
'cause I
lines. And
think the first one was 94 or 95. It was like the
something like that.
when the PS1 was coming out. Yeah. PS1 and
Yeah, like
Saturn, yeah.
that's super super historic, long running. So at the end of the day, it's still sad to see it go, but it did have a good amount of years of a run, and it paved the way for things like the Game Awards and for like your state of plays and stuff. There's gonna be kids who grow up and have no idea that E3 was a thing. But for my favorite thing about E3 was just like with the mixed with the announcements, but also like the feeling of, oh my goodness, the console wars at one place. Like
Right.
I gotta watch the Xbox presentation, but tomorrow is gonna be the PlayStation one. And like, like having that like fun anticipation and just kind of seeing what each one was doing. And they really did make it a show of like, bring in drummers randomly and do randoms, whatever, and The Rock would come out or whatever it was that they did. Like it made it
Bro,
like a fun
it's
competitiveness for the space.
it's like and actually which is insane, right? Just thinking back, right? Because we even after that moment, we still had a lot of hype moments like the announcement of God of War and the impossible year with the Final Fantasy VII remake, Shenmue, and at the PlayStation conference. But when the 2014 when the Xbox One and PS4 were coming out,
Yeah.
and PlayStation just freaking massacred Xbox, dude.
Oh, dude, it was
It was
brutal.
brutal, dude. A bloodbath, and it was so bad that to this day, like Xbox still not 100%
They
recovered.
haven't recovered from it. Yeah, they never
It was
recovered.
so brutal. That takedown
The
was
fake clapping, the
wow. That was nasty, bro. And then the Year Dreams, and then God of War, and all this stuff, right? It's
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 been
crazy.
years of this thing.
Right. And then they stopped and they said, "All right, we're not gonna do anything anymore." And I was like, "Whoa, what the heck?" Right? And then Xbox bought all these studios so they can show up and show all their stuff that they bought, and now they can't show it. Well, I mean, they can
Which
do trailers, right?
which
But
did you see the Blade thing? You've been seeing this?
so
All this
what? So
about,
what happened? Because I
oh,
know that there was a teaser, right? And it was
right,
supposed to be a Bethesda game, and
right,
no Xbox logo was shown.
right,
But what
right.
happened? What happened?
Right. So like the big T with it was like, oh, so there's a Bethesda game. So all these Xbox people was like, oh, how are these PlayStation people real quiet now because we're gonna get our Marvel exclusive game, whatever. And then media outlets requested comment from Bethesda to say, is this going to indeed be an exclusive? And they said we cannot say that it's going to be exclusive right now. We have not like determined it yet. And so like even something like that that could have been like an absolute win for them, they can't do it.
There was let me look it up. Let me look it up. If you want to feel dead
Which
air, we'll
Blade,
look it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
like which like at its core, I don't. I mean, but first of all, it can't just be because it's a Marvel IP. Like it has to actually be a good game, which it could be, right? Like it, for Bethesda doing it. But at the same time, I don't think Xbox is a place where they can afford. Microsoft can afford to make it an exclusive. I think they have to put it on other consoles because they need the money. Although, unless there's some huge proof that they have that people will sell their PlayStations to play Blade on Xbox,
Right.
I don't think they can afford to do it.
Right. Right. So you know that so Bethesda's also working on the Indiana Jones game, right? And I don't know if you saw this week that the someone at Disney, I can't find the name. Let me see. Uh,
An Indiana Jones game, though.
well, yeah. So the Indiana Jones game, it was announced that
Hmm.
Bethesda's doing the game. It was doing the game. It was the deal was done before the acquisition, and then they renegotiated the deals for it to be Xbox exclusive. There was a comment by this week by a Disney executive saying that they're insisting that the headline is Disney insists Bethesda's Indiana Jones game going to PC and Xbox exclusive isn't overly exclusionary because they still have that PC market, so they don't
Correct.
feel like it not being on PS5 may not be an exclusion, but because they could probably just get
Hmm.
some of that audience on PC. But when it all comes down to it, and when they okay, when Disney sits down and when Bob sits down and says, "Show me the Spider-Man sales," and then show me the Indiana Jones sales, and he sees the difference. I mean, I'm not comparing Spidey to Indy because Spidey wins, right? But
But this is a
when
big IP.
right, but when you sit down and you compare them both, and you say, "Oh, this one sold this many, this one sold this many," uh, there's gonna be a why question, and the why is gonna be, oh, because it wasn't on PlayStation, or it wasn't on Nintendo or whatever, and the question and the why wasn't it, right? And it's gonna be like that. I know, bro.
You calling it?
But Bob text me and he lets me know, man. He lets
Alan
me.
Iger. Alan Iger.
He lets me know, man. It's it's like, yo, where are the sales at? Where the numbers are not matching up.
Ovid's
So
got that caller ID coming in.
like
Robert Allen Iger.
eventually, you know, eventually Disney's gonna sit down and look at this and
Yeah, yeah, totally.
ask why because that's how they operate. I know how they operate.
It's a
And
it's a business decision too. Like this makes
right,
sense.
right. So so we'll see. It's like they're gonna ask him, why didn't you do the like what you did with the Star Wars Survivor Jedi, and that sold very well because that was on
Exactly.
everything. And I was like, oh well, was it this thing? And we renegotiated. I was like, and you lost half of the
Mm.
sales.
Right, right,
That's
right.
gonna be the thing,
You
right?
can't save yourself
And
from that. Yeah.
and then decisions are gonna be made. So
They put themselves in this corner. How do
Right.
they get themselves out of it? It'd be different if they made a ton of money. They could like, we can make this an exclusive because we already have this many people who will buy this console just to play this, but they don't have
Totally.
that base right now. They don't have people like Obed. They make a killer Indiana Jones game. I mean, award-winning style, like think of Spider-Man level. People are talking about it. You're going to go and take your money to go buy an Xbox just to play that one game?
No.
If anything, you probably say, "I'll wait for
Yeah.
PC and I'll play it
Yeah.
on your PC."
Right. I mean, if I still have a PC, but yeah, but again, I've been considering just getting a Mac Mini,
Oh yeah,
just
oh yeah,
because it's
bro.
like, you know, I
Life
it's
is good
just
on the Apple.
less problems overall, and I don't have to deal with crap. So
You don't put your firefighter hat on anymore? Not when he's home.
I'm tired, boss. You got the reference.
I did. This is Michael Duncan, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Clark
Oh,
Duncan. Yeah, there you go.
R.I.P. The king, the
Green
original
Mile.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Sorry.
Oh,
We
so
laughs. We laughs.
yeah, man. Yeah. You know, questions are going to be made, but you know, you we'll see. Yeah. So E3, we will miss you. We will definitely miss you for sure. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
I again I really wanted to be a part of your world, but
All right, Ariel.